What's up, my friends? This is Boswin McBastock here, and we are going to be playing some Satisfactory today. But before we do so, wanted to show you guys something. First of all, huge shout out to Nemo Meme. He actually gave me some credit and some stage time on his stream. What? Let's see here. 3 days ago? Yeah, so I'm a big fan of his. He's come to my stream. I've been onto his a bunch, and he said, hey, the floor is yours for a moment, and I got to tell his viewers a little bit about the charity for Extra Life. And I was feeling so good that day that I was like, there we go. Let's drag this off screen. Let's try something else. Let's check out what this professional tweeting thing is, right? So I figured out that I can make myself known as a media personality, right? A content creator, set this up as a professional account, and then I can do this thing called promote. So see how it says promote again? So I actually promoted it once, and I got a ton of impressions, I think is the verbiage sort of learning here. 931. So they actually estimated 450 or something from just a tiny little budget. I don't actually know how much of it was spent, but a tiny little budget of just $10 a day for 3 days. I figured I'd just run something kind of like middle of the beginning of the week or something. I don't know. A couple weekend days and then a weekday, whatever it was. It was really cool, and it helped me get some more engagement, some more detail expands, one link click. That was the purpose. I told Twitter, I said, hey, look, I want to, okay, I guess I can't do it there. Hang on. Click back here. I want folks to click this link. I made just one link. Wanted to try and see if we could get some more donations to our Extra Life page. I'll pull it up again here just so you guys can kind of see it on stream. This is the rebrand.ly/ELK or Extra Life Korea team page, and it actually is going to show us now because I set myself up as the current streamer, so you can see this stream on that page too. But it shows the folks who are on a roster. Right now we have me and another friend of mine from here at Osan. We've raised a little bit of money so far. Both of us have kind of just started. I know we're like June here, right? Half the year through. We're kind of just starting our campaigns. You can click donate at any point and choose a team member. Say, for example, you chose Tiffany. If you click her name or if you click donate now, then you would see a way to, it should auto pop up. Let's see if it works. Maybe, I think you have to click the donate button and it'll do it. But you can click donate once you get to that page as well and make a donation to, for her it's the Orlando Health Arnold Palmer Children's Hospital. I'm actually, like I've told you guys in one of the previous streams, moving back to Florida. I'll be really close to there. So I might help those guys out on a future stream as well. We'll have to kind of see how things go. I have a huge place in my heart for the Children's Hospital of Colorado. It'll be hard to, to leave my dear friends, even though I'll be in a completely different place. So we will kind of figure out how that goes between now and later. But I just thought it was really cool. It's a really neat feature. I might use it again to try and promote the stream itself, which in turn helps the charity. But I wanted to share with you guys. But enough about that. For now, let's hop over to the laptop stream. And the thing we're going to check out tonight is, let's see here, how did I actually word that tweet? Power, pumps, and progress, right? And apparently, glasses that are not pulchritudinous, there's another P, are beautiful. They're messy. Alright, so much better. So let's check this game out. As you guys know, we like to break bread together and imbibe some drinks and share the fellowship and the company that comes with food and drink. So to that end, I have my frosty mug as always, and I have a new to me Farson's Brewery Blue Label Nitro Smooth and Creamy Original Amber Ale. There is that. We're going to try that. So I like nitro drinks. I like porters. Ooh! Right, nitro. Don't spill. Don't spill. Don't spill. Oh gosh. Right, nitro. And I was fairly careful with it on the way upstairs. But that's the nitro coming out. We don't want to leave our drink. Tasty. Tasty so far. But as you guys know, I'm a fan of porters and stouts primarily, and this is, wow, yeah, this is definitely not that. It's got a really cool color. Holy cow, there's a huge nitro head on this thing. So normally with a nitro, you want to do a hard pour. This is what happens if you do a soft pour. A little education there. That's wrong. So we're going to try this anyways, kind of see how it tastes. Bottoms up, cheers and all that. So that's actually fantastic. You guys can just see the swirling colors. At the bottom, that's the non-nitrified. Like, I'm holding this pretty still, and the gas in there is moving kind of cool. That's the non-nitrified amber ale at the bottom there, and the nitrous oxide or nitrogen, or however that works, right? Inside this upper part, it's actually three layers now. I don't know. Yeah, you can tell. So a white, amber cream, and then the deeper clear amber. It's really fantastic. I like myself drinking that. And again, I don't normally. Oh, there's the hops. I still like it, but when it first comes out of the can, it's super smooth, and the nitro kind of mellows out that hoppiness, which is the more of the flavor I prefer. I don't mind the bitter. I gotta be in the mood for it, but I prefer sort of the maltiness and the smooth and the easy drinking of non-imperial style stouts and porters. So let's actually finish drinking this, and I will pour the rest with a full hard pour since it's a nitro. After we finish this, it might be a little warmer, but just so we can kind of see how that looks. And then again, with the tradition of breaking bread, I have literal bread here. So this is the Louisoix Family Bakery snacking rounds. They're freaking awesome. I just had a couple of these things with my breakfast of the muesli flavor earlier this morning. These are the apple cinnamon. I've actually not had these in a hot month or two. So we're gonna brand new open the bag and literally break bread together. Bon appetit. He's broken. Oh no! The bread! It's broken! That's nice. I have again not remembered to bring up a whole paper towel roll. It's just so easy. If you need a napkin, you just pull one off. And to mix things up a little bit, I have some basic trail mix. Actually, some fairly not basic, some very, very, not fancy per se, but really tasty. Not your average, peanuts and M&Ms kind of thing, right? So it's pineapple, banana chips, coconut, cranberries, walnuts, cashews, and papaya. It's actually really good. I like neat things like this that give you different flavors and styles and textures, right? Keeps it interesting so the feud doesn't get boring. So we're going to actually hop back, before we go to sidelines, to our real save. We're going to hop back to the possibility save. I'm going to pull this guy back here a little bit. There we go. We're going to check something out. So I was looking at a couple other folks' saves on Satisfactory, on the Satisfactory topic in YouTube, right, where just all the videos, and some other fellow streamers that have some really cool Satisfactory content. And one of the things I was thinking, if I remember correctly, excuse me, pardon me, if I remember correctly, a regular traditional vanilla nuclear power plant, holy cow, can produce 2,500 megawatts of power, right? The refined power mod can't do that much, but I might like it anyways. We're gonna do some comparisons. Like I said, power. Where'd my tweet go? Power pumps in progress, right? So we're gonna actually make some progress in our main save for the second playthrough, right? We're going to do some more cool stuff with ram pumps, where I'm not going to need any kind of electrically powered pump to raise that water. Remember last week we raised it 67 meters. I showed you guys that I had raised it 67 meters at the start of the show, and then we raise it another, let's just call it 70 round up. No, let's see here. My math brain can't do that. It really wants to tell you exactly how much. 110, let's see here, 70, 40, yeah, so 43 meters more to about 110 meters high. And we figured out that we can't kind of do this and zigzag up. We have to go straight up and then over. And then from there we can go down as much as we want, because then we have gravity that got it up this far and can get it back up to that same distance just fine. But getting it up further from there, you either have to use pumps, or maybe, I don't know, maybe I want to try this at some point. Maybe you take 2 more water streams, build some kind of a ram pump style square cavitation resonator, good brain, and do it again. But I don't know how much all of that's going to be necessary or needed. So for now, we're just going to go up and over, nice and simple, not sweat it. And before actually we do that, I take it back. Before we do that, we're going to go back to our first save. So what is this showcase thing? I have no idea. I think I was messing with something and I didn't finish the thought. I don't know. We're going to go over back to Vanadil, auto save. Auto? Yeah, that's the last one. Yeah, because I was in there briefly. Last time we actually played it online together was February 24th. So let's just call that 3.5 months ago. Not quite. But this one, I think, like, so 393 hours, only, another 17 minutes almost on it. So I probably just opened the thing, started talking to you guys a little bit about it. We're going to turn the air conditioner down, though, while we're in here, just for a bit. There we go. It's so quiet. Way quieter than the one I have in my bedroom or the one we have in our living room. It's interesting. The style of home heating and cooling here is not centralized forced air like it is in most places in the States. It's these things. I can actually show you. Hang on, stick with me, chat. Can I do it? There you go. That thing. Right. I don't know how to go. There we go. I'm almost touching. There. That thing right there. They call it a split pack. And what it means is that there's 2 parts to the unit. Hang on. There we go. We're back. Almost. Yeah. Are we there? Hey, camera. Hey. Oh, hang on. We'll fix this, I promise. There we go. Okay, so it means we have 2 parts to the air conditioning unit. You have the indoor unit, and you have the outdoor unit. And that's not too different from, traditional forced air. You have a much larger indoor unit that pushes air through ducts to a lot of different places in your house, and an outdoor unit. Let's see, I think that's the compressor or the condenser or something, right? It's the place where you take all that hot Freon, you blow it across the radiator, and then you run it through a bunch of coils to sort of get the heat out of it, bring it back in when it's significantly cooler, and then use that to recool your air. You have this cold, hot cycle back and forth, right? This does the exact same thing. Both of those work the same. This is just smaller scale. So it's like having 4 small, or 3, I guess, in our house. 3 small air conditioners versus 1 large one. So that's how it works, right? And then instead of the heating pushed through these same channels, it has a whole nother system called floor heating, where they run pipes through your floor. It's actually super efficient, I think, if I understand it. And it evaporates the heat up, and that's what makes it so efficient. Instead of pushing hot air down, which likes to rise, because hot air rises, cold air doesn't technically fall, but the hot air, but hot air does rise, which it's math and science that I won't claim to fully understand, but basically it's sort of like cold doesn't exist, it's the absence of heat, right? So anyways, long story longer, the cold air will fall and the hot air will rise, right? But if you're pushing hot air down from your vents in typically the ceiling, it's way less efficient than letting it just kind of evaporate up on its own the way it wants to, and working with, there goes one of my Explorers. Still works. but the way I wants to, right? So that's cool, or I guess that's hot, right? Pretty neat. Let's go with that. All right, so we are on fly mode, so I can show you guys exactly what I want to see. Let's see here. It's none of this stuff. This is how we do the basic level tier 1, let's call it, of refined power. We're not doing any of that. What we're doing is we're going to try to find... Oh, there's no compasses. Did I remove them? No, they're still there. Beacons. Uranium. Infinite. Hang on, I gotta find... Crash site. Uranium underground, uranium belts. Let's just put all the uraniums on. Infinite. Uranium underground. Crash site uranium. Crash site uranium. Uranium. That's probably the uranium. Hang on, I think I can actually tell. Yeah, I don't actually want that one on at all. I can see. I forgot, it shows right here the things. Water. Crash site uranium. There's somewhere around there. Oh yeah, and I found the E65. I marked it and I won't even need it in this map because I never did the crazy stuff that E65 needs in this map. There, I think that is kind of where we need to go. So let's head that way. And why is it not actually showing me the thing? I should see the beacons on my map. Why do I not see the beacons? Oh, on the compass. That's why. There we go. So this is a place where I could have got it, and I didn't. Right? Could have built a uranium power plant here. Didn't do so. Okay, so not that one. That looks more familiar-ish. Let's see if we can find... There it is, look! That's our old uranium power plant. Cool. Marked it. So this is the one we want. The one that says uranium belt. Alright, so let's go over here. In case we have to come back to this. Where are we? We're right here. So this one... off. For now, we can always turn it back on. There we go. That's the one. Pull uranium off. Uranium off. Press uranium off. Off. Okay, cool. That will now be the only... No! I told you to go away. Why are you not going away? Beacon. Uranium off, my dude. There we go. Now we got it. Okay. So... Dronesies, right, because I can't turn in the things they need. Alright, so this was our uranium power plant. We tried doing some interesting designs, right? Tried building the uranium symbol. There we go. And we can see way better from the top. Mostly. With the sun coming at different angles. Okay, so we tried building it there. We built these cool little things that were going to be like stacks, and we only went one high. I figured out that it can be done. Kind of figured out which style I like different, or which I like better rather. That one that looks more circular, or this that kind of has a dodecahedron kind of look to it. We ended up sticking with neither and developing it no further. We could have totally built this up and made it look cool, and we didn't. That's okay. We did the same, uranium symbol here, and then we're like, danger, Will Robinson. Hazmat suit required if power is on. And then they said, if site is active, if above, green light is on. And it is on. So let's put our uranium suit on. I should still have one. Do I still have one? If not, it's totally cool. I can just grab one in the, yeah, totally don't. In the box that I put right here. That's why I put it here. And let's not fly right now. Let's go like normal speed. Right, so we'll grab 10 of these. I don't know how many I'm going to need. We're going to start with 10. We'll grab one of those. We'll put that guy on. Also, we can't fly if we're using that, so there's that. And then in we go. This is actually the back entrance. I suppose we can go around and do like, oh, hey, right, radiation comes out of there, just so you know. It's, can I zoom in? I can, but it won't show me. If you look this up in the, another green light, if you look this up in the interactive map, you'll actually see how far out the radiation is going. The basic idea is the more dense uranium products, nuclear products, I guess, right? The greater the chance that nuclear radiation will spill out from the point source. So in we go, right? Remember, emergency shut off switch. I made this whole thing. It was really cool. Totally works. So there's your power. There's your minor shut off that eventually will turn off the power. It's going to take a really long time, but it will shut it off. If I were to turn this off, it's on now. But engage to activate the minor, right? Which starts the whole process. Because if things are getting uranium, they'll make the products. All right, so that is your plutonium pellets, made by this guy, this particle accelerator. Here, let's go up here. What are we actually trying to look again? Right, we wanted to look at the uranium power plants. There's 2 of them here, right? Just 2. Yeah, reactor number 1, Jack, and reactor number 2, Edna. Don't know any idea why I named them those. I'm sure I had a good reason. Oh, and as it turns out, that's funny, I just realized. If I'm remembering correctly, shout out to Total Eclipse, I believe that's his wife's name. I think. I'm going to have to look that up. But yeah, I started building this stuff before I'd even heard of those guys. Drink time. Cheers. Maybe I'll start drinking every time I get a chime from somebody entering or leaving or messaging or something. That might be fun. Shout out if you are new to the stream. I am seeing some new faces. That is a great thing, because that means that the Twitter promotion I paid for worked. And again, it's all for the kids, not for me. If I get donations, it goes straight to them. Someday, if you guys choose to help me get there, I would love to be a full-time streamer, not work a second job, a primary job, right? Outside of it, not there yet. I got a stable job. It's great. Takes really good care of me. So, for now at least, 100% of my donations go back to Extra Life. Okay. So the question we came here to ask. So if it works, see, I'm at 3. I'm overclocked to 250%. We're clearly not getting enough water. 600 meters, 600 liters, sorry. And another 600 liters here. I know it doesn't matter because I'm not in the save anymore, but I totally know how to fix this. So we are somehow encountering a ton of radiation and not suffering for it in the least. We're gonna actually change back that fly mode. Come up here. So I had a no clip, doesn't seem to be working anymore. Tons of barrels of radiation. So the way to fix that is actually to temporarily, let's see here. You can't, it's a power generator, it can't not have power, but you can get the water to go into it See, if I turn this off, actually, that's all it takes. Never mind. Water will go all the way in. So now it's got a good buffer. That's literally all it took. Now here's the weird thing. It should never run out, because it should be able to get 600 liters a minute. Because I have, let's see here. All I need is, let's check this. No, hang on. In 120 liters on a normal water extractor. If it's boosted to 2.5%, it's 300. So I should only need 4 water extractors and should be able to get everything I need. I think I have that. I just didn't give it a buffer. So I'm not seeing this get below like 34. So that's probably fine. We're gonna go double check. But point being, here, we want to do that. Let's try this again. Function, Windows, Alt, print screen, there it goes. We want to do that, and that tells us that this single nuclear reactor can produce up to 6,200 megawatts, or 6 gigawatts, right? That's actually kind of a lot. Didn't realize it was that much. A normal rate of that is going to be without overclocking, right? Because we can't overclock the refined power nuclear stuff. 6250 divided by 2.5. Is how you do that? Yeah, 2,500. So that's what I was remembering. Is it makes 2,500, right? Now hang on a minute. It says 5,000. Right. So it's got a target, but it doesn't actually reach that. So it actually only does 5,000. Okay, that's still a lot. So 5 gigawatts on one of these things, which is the same as the arc reactor. And it takes 0.4 uranium fuel rods per minute. Whereas the arc reactor takes 0.25. So 1 every 4 minutes. This is 1. Let's see. 1 every 2 minutes would be 0.5. I don't remember how to do the math to figure that out. But somewhere between 1 every 4 and 1 every 2. 0.33. I think you just have to do that. So here, let's math this up again. 0.33. 1 divided by, is it just like that? Yeah. So that'll give you how many minutes it takes to use 1. So if you do 0.25, it should say 4. 0.5 should say 2. I should be able to do 0.4 like that. Aha! So every 2.5 minutes. So this one will use a uranium fuel rod every 2.5 minutes, whereas the arc reactors use one only every 4. So it doesn't seem like much, but it's almost double, and it adds up fast. But I'm not necessarily interested in using arc reactors. It's really cool, but it has no nuclear waste, which is actually a really good thing, but it doesn't really fit the narrative, let's call it, of standard playstyle of Satisfactory. Kind of like the Dyson Sphere. The Dyson Sphere is really cool, but oh my god, holy cow, man, that uses so many resources. Like, that's just so far beyond me. If I could get to a point where I could create enough stuff to fuel that thing every 10 minutes, if they fix the animation, or if I can figure out how to do so, I don't even know that I'd have enough leftover materials for my entire world to do the stuff I actually need to do, right? I will never need a terawatt of power. Never say never, right? I remember when I was a kid, we got our first 1 gigabyte super thick platter hard drive that was like half size of a maxi tower, or I don't know, an average whatever tower, medium tower. Yeah, about half the size of the computer I have right here. And we're like, we're never going to use this much this space. This is so cool, right? And then we did, right? Inside this computer, I have a tiny little SSD that has like 500 gigabytes. And an even tinier M.2 that has a whole terabyte. Sick, man. Okay. Before I forget, I also wanted to shout out thanks again to Poggers. I I want to see if this helps. I did not quite get the amount of sleep that I would have liked to get last night, and I woke up quite tired. Managed to get through the day with a little bit of coffee and a little bit of exercise. That was nice to hit the gym, do some cardio. But I knew I was going to kind of get a little sleepy towards the end of the night, and I'm shooting for about a 2-hour stream. So we're probably going to end about 12:30 tonight. And the Poggers energy drink is definitely helping me get there. I drank, let's see here, there's about 4 ounces left. So I drank about 12 ounces during dinner. Put the rest in the fridge, figured I'd drink it later if I needed it. But by the time you need it, it's too late, right? Okay, so, again, 5,000 megawatts from one of these guys is our comparison scale, and 0.4 0.4 uranium rods per minute. Hey, what's up, Nemo? Hey, I was just talking about you earlier, man. I gave you a shout out because that really meant a lot to me when you did that for me, my friend. So I told everybody how much I appreciated it. Click. Oh yeah, I have this weird audio delay. See how you saw the video, and then you heard the audio. But yes, so I'm looking at an old world save where I built just a basic 2-reactor nuclear power plant, and I'm comparing it to the refined power mod options just to see if I even want to mess with nuclear again at my new save for my second playthrough. I seem to have more than enough power for all the things I need to do, and I'm only doing turbo fuel. And I've only, remember that big old huge cluster? I've only built an eighth basically of what I wanted to do, and I'm not going to be running out of power anytime soon. But I wanted to figure out if I use the basic vanilla stuff, it's going to take me 0.4, which I just figured out was every 2.5 minutes. I'll use up a fuel rod compared to every 4 minutes with one of the refined power ideas, and it's going to generate me. There it goes, autosave. It's going to generate me about 5,000 megawatts. So I don't know how that's going to compare, but I'm going to find out. So I found out that. Let me go back to normal for a minute here. I'm not in any rush to get away from this stuff. I built so many cool things in this. This was such a fun save. First time I ever played through. Did all kinds of neat stuff for my factory. It was really fun. Actually got into some of the design stuff. Plutonium fuel cannot be disposed of, however the fuel rods can, and they're... Yes. So what I did is I took in this save, let's see here. Yeah, I can't put on my jetpack or I'll die. I took the uranium waste, whatever that's called, ran it through a blender and a particle accelerator and I think 2 assemblers. Yeah. And I turned it into plutonium fuel rods that are 100% usable, and also 100%. Wow. Ooh, that's gonna make me in dangerous positions if I get too close. And it's making one now. I'm gonna leave. But I took it and I sunk it. That way, there's essentially 0 waste, right? So I lose out on the chance to get a bunch of extra power, but I also have no plutonium that I need to store. Yeah, I made this really cool thing to where I set up a light and a emergency off switch and all kinds of things. So like a danger, radioactive if the light is on. It's really cool. Had a lot of fun with that. Let me fly again over there. Since right now, until update 6, we can't use jetpacks or hover packs and our water. There was one thing I wanted to check since I'm back here. And that is these guys. Okay, so I do have 4. They should be maxed. Yep, they're making 300 each. So I have exactly enough water. I had just a little bit of error where it was saying no water, there's plenty. No water, there's plenty on one of my reactors, and I figured out why. Because I just needed to give it a quick buffer. I had never turned the thing off and then on back again. So it's got plenty now. But all I had to do is go like this, wait a few seconds for it to cap, turn it back on, and then it's going to drain to, once it restarts, it's going to drain to like 34 at lowest, but then it's going to get more from my Mark II pipes, and I will have no issue keeping this thing going at max. They have 18 times as much radiation. Yeah, a ton. I helped Dragonheart build his recycler so he could get rid of the a mountain of the stuff. One small storage of plutonium pellets irradiated. Yeah, I believe it. I was reading something that not that. The more nuclear material you have in general, the more densely packed you have it, right? The greater your radiation radius. So if I had, I assume, regular storage box would work, but if I had a basic storage container with one, I don't remember the formulas, but if I had a basic storage container with one nuclear waste, come on, let me click, there we go. It would be significantly less radiation than 2 or 4 or, what is this, 24? 1, 2, 3, 4, yeah, 8, 3, 24. So I was like, you know what, let's just have no problems with that, and let's just get rid of it. So it's clocked down at just the right rate to where I'm basically only getting one of these fuel rods, these plutonium fuel rods out of here every so often. Never has, brother, sister, sibling, whatever. So I only need Mark 1 belts. Takes a while to get through, but eventually it gets sunk. And, I definitely have some radiation level, especially if I get closer, to the factory, to the miner, itself, or to the actual power plants. But I'm safe enough as long as I have iodine filters, which for some reason are not being consumed. That's probably some bug from stupid cheating. Exponential growth curve. With uranium waste, you can pile the stuff up to millions of units and still well contained. Cool. One industrial storage of plutonium waste is the end of your save file. Yeah, it'll totally irradiate for yalms and yalms. No, I just wanted to show off while I was here real quick. Let's see here. So this guy, so I got, let's see, this guy, is this it? Uranium. Yeah, so I have a, let's see, double pole, a 2-way, a 3-way, I forget what they call it, but I set up with what I thought was proper electrical style, as if you would do it in a real house, a 2-pole on-off switch. So if either one is off, the miner won't work. And it won't turn off right away. That's nearly impossible that I know of, at least. But all it does is it kills my miner, which will eventually kill the uranium process. So that, do I not have one? Oh no, I don't have my whacker thing, my zapper. I think I killed all the spiders in here, so I should be fine. Hopefully. We're about to find out. But it just is on a power switch to go kill my Mark III miner. That way I can get as much or as little as I want. And if I want to turn it off, then, once everything gets processed through and sunk, I'll have no more radiation problems. It'll just take probably an hour to sort through it all. And that's just fine. I thought that was a neat sort of a safety off, emergency off switch kind of thing. Not exactly instant, but I was kind of proud about that. I thought that came out well. I certainly could have stood to put more foundations and, make this cave thing traversable. I even did, and I didn't know this at the time, I even did this big ol' huge, floor to ceiling, do not enter cave of danger kind of thing. I keep swearing, I hear chittering. To protect the civilians from the mine. Whoa. What am I doing? There we go. Yeah, it was fun. I had a lot of fun with this first save. I even started doing some beams to hide the cords and trying to look all snazzy. I heard some really good advice, and it might have been on one of your streams, but it was somebody telling Total Eclipse. Somebody talking about how Total Eclipse told them, build your stuff to look pretty first, and then functional next. Otherwise, the pretty comes as an afterthought, and it often won't happen. If I remember kind of how it went. Hey, YOLO for GGs. Welcome, welcome. I am doing well. How about you, my friend? Okay, so I actually have no idea why I'm traversing through this. I found out everything I needed to from this save. Let's head back over here. Just log out in front of this thing. Log out from this save, whatever, in front of this thing. Okay, cool. I even tried doing like some ASCII art, or pixel art, I guess, up there. The one that came out really nice, though, is the one way up here. That was actually fun. That came out pretty dang good. I liked that one. Now, never mind the fact that my poor little drones will just fly right through it. I think actually one of them is about to. Maybe? Yep. So this is where you clip through. That's okay. We'll pretend that's not happening. It's magic. They simply know how to clip through our 3 dimensions, because they are an n-tier dimensional craft. Let's go with that. Okay, so I will... Why not? I guess I was playing online. I will save this as online continue, even. I like it. Because the original time we last played this save was February 24th. Oh, sweet! Thank you for the host, Nemo. You rock, dude! So YOLO said doing good, just getting to chill and see what everyone is up to. And Nemo, you said, yep, that were me. Total. So okay, so you were the guy who said that about Total. He is a nice guy. He's really smart, very charismatic. We also said a couple days ago. He does have his flaws, you're saying, but they are outweighed by his positive influence for now. Yes, he's a very good good influence. Okay, so let me load back to Kurthos and go to the possibilities. So this is where I was exploring. I was like, okay, I'm having a lot of fun with the tier. Follow! Thank you, YOLO! Much obliged. That means a lot to me. Cheers, my friend. I did say earlier that I would take a drink every time I got a chat message. That was only... Oh, you suck! What happened? That was only 5 minutes ago, and I've already failed to do that. Hang on. Let me launch this guy back. I wonder why it failed. But yes, cheers. So, once I finish that, I'm going to try a hard pour. So this is a nitro. This is what I'm drinking tonight. A Farson's Brewery Blue Label Nitro Smooth and Creamy. Original Amber Ale. I like to break bread and yeast with folks on my stream. That's sort of my shtick. I'm literally breaking bread tonight. I actually have these wonderful things. Ozary Snacking Rounds, apple cinnamon flavor. Amongst a few other snacks I have at my table. See, Nemo, if I wasn't working tomorrow, I wouldn't mind. Mostly because I only have a pint, and I could handle that okay. Are we gonna play? I know I clicked launch. I so rarely have it fail on me, but it does every now and again. Let's see if it's going to run. It doesn't seem like it's going to. We might have to hop over to my desktop, but let me try something real quick. Let's close this guy. And I technically can actually restart my laptop because it's not what I'm streaming for. That's one of the reasons I do this. Satisfactory is not in there. That's good. Synchronizing Steam Cloud. Oh, that's what's happening. You don't have to do that because you crashed. How about we just not? Can we cancel that? We can. And we will restart Steam. Hopefully it won't ask me for my password because I don't have to change to another scene real quick. So let's see here. Weird thing, it worked in about a dozen places that Surki, Kirin, Ichiban... Oh, gotcha. Yes. Yes, the other different brands, places that serve. Yeah. All right, let's try this one more time. Are we gonna get behaving? Connecting Steam account. Cool. Synchronizing, and it's working. And we got the logo. Golden. We have liftoff. Hang on. And power on. Alright, so I'm hearing nada. There it goes. So load. Let's load Kurthos. Let's try one more time that possibilities, because it did work before. If it doesn't, it's unfortunate. But we can make it work. Howdy, Morflex. Dude, you got featured. Did you see in the dev stream? I think for everybody else it was yesterday. I think I tuned in late this last night, early this morning, South Korea time. They showed your, like, fusion reactor thing with all the cool lights, and Nemo actually featured it, like, yesterday. That was freaking awesome. Okay, cool. Keep flying on just for a moment. So let's see here. So Nemo, I don't know if I got a chance to show you. I'm doing some experiments with ram pumps. This guy I did get working. Tried to do some calculations and figure out, you know, if the thing is 10 meters wide and long, and figure out all that stuff. Figured out that I can get it all the way up to 114 meters, and then bring it up just a little more above that, even though we're no longer going straight and we're just going up. And I replaced, as a test, my first and third pipe. Water's going through just fine. The pipes are getting the water just fine, and it's freaking awesome. Yes! Yes, his cold drainer. Got to see the circles into the, let's see if I can do this, into the squares, into the circles, into the squares. It was so cool. And then all the cool pedals and the twirls at the bottom. That is brilliant. I did. W is forward, S is backwards. There we go. Yeah, instead of an air guitar, actually, it took me a sec to process that. That's actually kind of like it, yeah. So you can see these guys that are yellow. That's the lines that aren't being used. I had traditional, you know, boring pump style, and I was like, this sucks. Let's try the cool stuff that Nemo taught me. I got it working. I originally had it not working, and I couldn't figure out why. It was apparently because even on the input lines, you can't, let's see, how can I do this without doing this? You can't do this kind of stuff. With curves, I had it lined up so that only this little curve was coming in, but it was a curve. It wasn't a straight and a straight with these pipe junctions. So the game said, nope, let's see here, that cavitation resonator math is not going to work. I tried initially making it actually over here, and it worked. Thank you, Morflex, for the follow. Oh, you guys are freaking awesome. I met my follower goal. Right as, we'll call it, summer break hit. My kid just got out of school Tuesday. My goal was to get 75 followers before summer, which I'm calling this week, so we got it. That's freaking awesome. I've never seen that happen on my stream, because I usually get pretty close to it, and then I expand, and I get close, because I never want to hit it. I always want to keep trying to grow. I mean, I want to hit it, but I never have hit it on stream before. Thank you, guys. That's freaking awesome. Okay. So this is the thing we're going to come back to. Before we do that, right, and this was me proving that I can go up 67 meters, and I had this little thing just to prove that water will keep going, and it does. But if I do this stuff that's not square, I get to here. Yeah, I get to here, and it stops roughly there, and it won't go here at all. So I was like, yeah, that means, until I understand more of this physics. Thank you. Yeah, I've been trying to put into practice some of the cool stuff Nemo's been teaching on his stream, and at least this much of it I figured out. I still want to learn more of the physics. Been number crunching and reading up on unit circles and The name's already escaped me. And algorithms and equations and some cool math stuff. But what I've determined, at least so far in this, do I have the name there? The Mara Water Test Plant or something. I swear I named it that somewhere. But I figured out that I can't use curves. I can't use angles even for now. It's not it's not as curvy as that other thing I was showing you that I didn't do, or that I did and I fixed. So nothing will come out of here. That's okay. It just means that I have to go. I have to build some more foundations, bring them up and up and up, kind of like I did that one, up a wall or something, and then go out from there, and then I can power all the stuff I want just fine. What I do need to figure out, though, Nima, I'm sure you could answer this one. So I have 5 pumps sending right now just 120 meters of water, liters. Let's see, you said a couple days ago there's a hot fix to pipes. Uh-oh. They worked and someone didn't like that, so now they teleport the water to the opposite end of the pipe and it flows backwards to the source, because that's really weird, you're right. Shame that that he who shall not be named, who's who is telling us how he exploits people, and his cronies, his 416 of them, convinced people to break another game. We'll work with it for now. As long as the physics wasn't changed beyond this, I think we can still work with that. If it comes from here to there, but it still operates in the same way, it might work. Maybe. More experiments. But anyways, I have 120. That should be 600 actually, for 5, right? I don't actually even have to do that. Yeah. So I have exactly 600. And somehow they're splitting evenly, 300 and 300. So I'm getting exactly what I'm getting, as much as I possibly can right now. But what I need to figure out how to do is bring. That is beer. Morflex, I don't think you saw on the show what I was drinking, but I am drinking a Farson's Blue Label Nitro Original Amber Ale. First time I've ever tried one of these. That's kind of my shtick. I break bread with friends and have some drinks together. Cheers, mate. There's a new beer store in our town, and it had fridge after fridge after fridge of stuff that's craft beery, or at least non-franchise, and I may or may not have bought 16 different flavors. I didn't drink them all, promise. Most of them are still downstairs in my fridge, but that was a fun BEEWRUN beer run. Let's see here. Nemo, you said it still sort of works mostly. Better in some cases, but that will not last long. Anything I touch will be broken within 2 weeks. I would hesitate to say this, because I love you sharing about all the cool stuff that you can do in this game. Your brain is fantastic, man. You have an understanding of math and science greater than anyone I've ever met. But I knew a lot of guys who built fan projects and didn't make it public because they didn't want to get a cease and desist like other folks. And it feels almost like you're in a similar situation where you can do all this really cool stuff, but if you tell a soul, they're going to screw it up. I mean, somehow the information is going to get back to the powers that be, and they're going to screw it up. I hope you don't have to do that, because I like seeing the stuff you build. So let's see here. So, Morflex, you said sometimes at work it gets nutty, being the IT guy, web designer, marketing guy, and data entry guy. That is nutty. I do some of those things, none of them all at once in the same job. Let's see here. IT I do. I'm a computer science. Let's see, you're not computer science. I'm a software engineering degree entrusted, yea, verily, bestowed. That's the word I'm looking for. Engineer myself. My degree is actually in video game programming. That's what I want to do when I grow up and punch out of the military after 20 years or so. I built a bajillion websites. Design is not my forte. I don't know if this says that or not. Give me a design and I can build anything you can think of. I will find a way. But designing, not a thing. I can code. I'd like to say, if I can humbly toot my own horn, that I can code most things given enough time. And I enjoy doing so. Marketing, I'm absolute trash at. I have no idea how. I've been talking with some friends who are good at that, actually, to try and help grow this channel so I can grow the charity stream, get more word out too. Since there's a few new folks of you in here, let me do this! Exclamation point! Welcome to our children's hospital in Colorado that we help support. All of the donations received here go there for Extra Life. Let's see here, and then a data entry. Yeah, I've done a bunch of that. I do actually some data science in my job from time to time. Now, at my last assignment, so I'm active duty military stationed in South Korea. At my last assignment in Buckley, what is it, Space Garrison now, with the whole Space Force thing. We're going to make fun of them the same way the Army made fun of us when we left them to go, move out and grow up and do stuff on our own, right? Guardians are cool, though. I have some good friends who already made the transition and they love it. Where was I going with this? But game dev, yeah, that's what I really want to do someday. And I'm going to get to do some more data science-y stuff. And ADA, that's what Advanced Data Analytics. And what did they tell me? R&D. So we have a mission. 3 to 5 years down the line, we're going to need new stuff. We don't know what that is yet, but we want to find stuff. We want to find people and tech and etc. who can help us achieve these new dreams that they're figuring out, we're envisioning, right? And that's going to be my next job back at Patrick, now Space Force Base, Florida. It's really cool. Really looking forward to it. Yes, so RAM pumps. That's one of the projects I was working on. I actually do want to come back to this in the stream just a little bit later. But before I forget, of course it's not going to be there. Let's see here. The 5,000 megawatt reactors use 0.4 uranium rods a minute, and they create waste. I don't actually remember how much, but they create waste. Let's see here. Nemo says, well, the majority of the devs feel like you do, but a few are Voldemort. Again, who shall not be named. Right up there with other people. And Professor Snape apparently isn't in a great position. I'm not going to bow to bully, though. I'm a reed in the river. Good for you. Good for you. That is the right attitude to have. So if a few of you guys new to the stream haven't seen, this is my initial turbo fuel factory. I'm 90% sure I'm going to have to blow all this away and either rebuild it or, data save copy it, or do I have it actually on here? Or use... there it is. Area actions and copy pasta that. The problem is area actions doesn't do anything that costs that takes 2 or more clicks, which means all of my pipes I'd have to redo, and I'm like, nah. So I'll probably throw it into the interactive save editor thing over at Satisfactory Calculator just to move it, just because I don't want to put in like 20 or 30 hours more. But what I'm doing is my second playthrough is this is only my second playthrough. Went all the way through to finishing phase 4 last time. And my second playthrough, instead of regular vanilla power, I wanted to use this refined power. The gist of it is with the modular idea that seems the most true to vanilla. There's other stuff, but you take your turbo fuel or regular fuel or whatever, right? You can take coal, biomass, nuclear power as well that I was just talking about. You put it in a heater of some kind. It heats a boiler plate up to a certain temperature, 500 with biomass and coal, 750 with any kind of liquid solution, and 1,050 or something with nuclear fuel rods. And that enables you to turn water into steam. So the higher the temperature, the more steam that gets produced in this boiler. And they have it in tiers in Mark 1s and Mark 2s, just like with the vanilla game, with miners and pipes and all kinds of stuff. You then take that high-pressure steam and you run it through a turbine, right? So steam turns a turbine, just like in a bajillion other things in real life. And then that turbine turns a generator. So I'm using low-voltage generators because they're the most efficient. Briefly, 40 units of high-pressure steam will create 175 megawatts of energy. I can use, let's see here, and I can actually just show you guys, change it on the fly. And it changes in place, it's really cool. I can use a Mark II turbine, and if I push enough in, I might be able to push enough in because I have a Mark II boiler. This will eventually climb to 2,500 RPM, but that'll only give me 300. Let's see here. If I also have an MV generator on it, this will only give me 300 megawatts of power. Right there. Right. So 80 units of steam for 300, or 40 for 175. But if you double that, 175 is 350, not 300. So I'm shortchanged just a little bit, and so I figured, nah, I don't really need it. I'll just build more of the low voltage for now. So Mark II boilers, solution heaters, but Mark I turbines and Mark I basically voltage generators. Square root of 175, let's see here, 13.23 megawatt. I was trying to remember some of the stuff you were teaching, if I could remember how to do that quickly. So you said it's 13.23 megawatts at base game paradigm calculation. To determine what, Nemo? 13.23 times 2. We can do that. Sweet. Maybe a per steam cost or something. I was doing it like this. Where'd you go? That guy. So 175 divided by 40 means every unit of steam gives you 4.375 megawatts. Whereas if I had 300 divided by 80, every unit only gives me 3.75, so not as much. So there are indications embedded in a lot of the math that this is actually a four-dimensional space. Yeah, that's right. You were talking about that. It's really cool. They don't want to reveal the story, so they don't talk about why there's no renewable power in vanilla. It's because we are inside a black hole. Cool. Cool. That'll be interesting to see. And figure out kind of how that works, because my understanding, at least, of a black hole is that if, and I'm not saying we're not, I just don't have that information firsthand yet, is that if we were, I shouldn't be able to see the sun, because the black, in theory, well, I don't know, if we're inside of it, maybe it's different, but the black hole, I would think, I don't know, but if we're inside of it, my mind's sort of figuring this all out. Normally, the physics of a black hole is such a strong gravitational force that it pulls light even towards it, and everything else. But if we're actually already in the middle of it, it's like we're in a permanent center point, and yet we can move, right? Right, and I'm cheat flying, but even without that, you can move around. Maybe because you're at the eye of the storm, the intense gravitational forces don't affect you. I don't know. That's a really cool idea. So let's see here. The two stars we see in the sky, that's one star wrapped around the black hole. We see both sides of it. One side redshift to the other. Oh, see, that actually makes sense. So there's the one. Let's see. There's the other moon. Or there's the moon. I don't think that's the star you mean, though, because I thought there was two sun cycles and then one moon. That's how you have 16 hours of day and 8 hours of night, or something like that. I forget. One of the complications of an event horizon is that time becomes infinitely slow, and spaghettification makes 3D perceptions incapable. Right. If we are 4D beings, this would be maybe not elementary school level math, but certainly high school. Certainly not college, I would say. Before I get too sidetracked, let me just throw one other thing up to Morflex and YOLO. And anyone else watching who has not seen the Refined Power mod for the first time, just want to let you guys know the last little part of this. After you take that high pressure steam, you then have to dispose of it. So you take it as, you take out the low pressure steam that this thing generates, and sink it in a steam cooling tower. You can actually use a refinery and recapture that steam, turn it back into water, but it's extremely expensive. And since right now, water is an infinite resource, I can get 120 liters, right? Meter cubed is a liter, if I'm not mistaken. I can get 120 liters of water for only 20 megawatts, right? But if I instead, let's see here, if I instead change that steam back to water to just get four. This is not overclocked. Just standard fare. 4 liters of water is going to cost me 30 megawatts. So it's already power and a half for far less results. So I haven't found a good reason to use that at all. It's really cool. It's neat. Maybe it's not cool, but it's a neat option. But it doesn't seem feasible or wise. What does is, and that's cool stuff too, is, where did you go, dude? That, carbon dust. So I can capture the CO2, which I'll show you guys in a minute, add limestone to it, make carbon dust, and here's the really cool part. Let's see here. So the amount of space between the star and the light we think we see from the star is actually an 8 or 9 dimensional volume, depending on your definition of dimensionality, compressed into an apparent 3D space by whatever this utility body is. So we can interact with it as 3D attenuated minds. Cool. That's awesome. Now how exactly that's only 8 or 9 dimensions, that part I don't understand, but I think I'm picking up what you're putting down otherwise. As I understand things, at least according to current theoretical physics, there are 11 known dimensions. What made this particular one stop at 8 or 9 instead of 4? 4 we think is probably time. It gets into the spatial and temporal dimension category. Let's go with that. But what made it stop at not 5 or 6 or 7? That part I'm not sure of. I'm betting you have some inside information from all the really cool lore you figured out. The distance from a source of light spreads as a square volume of the vector source because radiation in 3D space. Okay. That actually does make sense. So these heaters, by the way, so they're burning stuff. Whether that's plant material, coal, or fuel, it's going to generate carbon monoxide, right? So you can take that carbon monoxide, and just like with a regular power plant of just about any kind, you can vent it to atmosphere and get dirty, polluted air. Yay! Fiber is freaking awesome. I'm looking forward to having that when I get back to the States. However, I got a taste of it out here. The internet hasn't been super reliable lately, but when I'm downstairs right next to the router, I'm pulling in, on a bad day, I'm pulling in like 350, maybe 400 megs down, and here's the really cool part, like 300, 350 up. The upload speeds are not capped here. I've seen really, really good speeds of almost a gig down, and I think I saw, I might even be able to just pull it up. I don't have the browser open now. Not here. Speedtest.net. Of like 750 up. It was insane. I was like, I will never get that in the States. Let's go to results history. And it won't show anything. Make it log me in. CAPTCHA is required. Yes, fine. I'm not a robot. No, I don't actually need to run a new test. Not in the middle of when I'm streaming. Although that would be kind of a good answer. Here, let me do this, my friends. Desktop. 881 was apparently the best I got since I got here, and save the results. I may have actually gotten a little bit better on my phone or something. And then, yeah, there you go. 761 freaking up, dude. I freaking love the internet when it works here. It's quite nice. 870 down. Oh, good. So if that's happening, Morflex, whereabouts, if you don't mind me asking, whereabouts are you living right now? In U.S., Europe, and a little more drill down if it is in the U.S., because I'm moving to Florida. Curious how the internet speeds are there. Sweet, Southern Florida. So I'm moving to the Cocoa Beach area. I'll be at Patrick Space Force Base, just an hour south of Cape Canaveral, an hour east of Orlando, roughly. Weston. Okay, I know exactly where that is. Cool. And if you have good power, good internet there, I should be able to get the same because I like having really fast internet, and I suspect with the power of American infrastructure, um, I will be able to continue having that now that the U.S. has caught back up to some of the standards the rest of the world has had for a little while. Cool, that's awesome. So Nemo, a couple weeks ago, you were commenting on how you thought um, carbon capture was really cool. That's one of the next projects I'm going to do after probably update 6, because I don't want to remake it, or I don't want to make it now. That's one of the reasons why I've stopped this, is because this is all probably going to get blown away. I mean, that's the Spire Coast right there, right? And there's the whatever they called it, canyon. The... it doesn't show it. The something canyon, though, is basically right there. I suspect the 3 glorious oil nodes underneath us powering all of this, right? And this is just an eighth of the first cluster of 9 nodes. I need to build... So these boilers can support not just 3, but 7 if I build the other 4 on top of them. And I can get a ton of power out of them. So I need to build a whole other thing here and then multiply that 3 times. Florida feels a lot like a KOA campground, but with cardboard skyscrapers. Yes. Oh my God. So much of my... I'm a resident there, so I guess my home state got obliterated by hurricanes over the last 20 years almost since I've been in. That sucks, man. Tyndall Air Force Base got completely flooded to where they had to evacuate everybody, and it wasn't for like a solid year until they started bringing people back in after enough that cleanup was done that they could start working there again. It was bad. That's still not bad, even though it's gotten a little less cool. It's not to that warm beer stage where it's gross. So let's see here. So yes, what I'm gonna do, Nemo, once I have a good place in mind to host this thing, this big old, 40 gigawatt, I think it's going to be, power project. Instead of all these boring CO2 chimneys that, are polluting the atmosphere and making a mess of things, not being a very good guest in this host planet, right? Even though we're coming in and scavenging and stealing all the resources and looting and plundering, right? That's kind of the thing. I claimed this planet in the name of Fix-It Corporation. Nemo says, my last trip to Florida was to take my fiance back to the manufacturer. Back to her folks. While I was finding out that they broke her on purpose, we got hit by Hurricane Charlie. And it gave me a chance to run home and move out before she could get a plane. Woo! That sounds like another crazy adventure. So these guys will get to be recaptured, let's see here, by essentially, I think I can do this without screwing things up, but I think I won't. Let's see here, so I'm going to actually send these pipes down. Do I have any down here? Did I try down there? I did, actually. Yeah. I'm going to send them down below, basically, send all the CO2 gas down below. And I can take 45 CO2 a minute. And these guys only make... These guys only make there it is, 30 a minute. And they're not overclockable within the mod. It's just like, this is how much we're going to do, and enjoy it. So 60 from 1. And so I can make 9 of these things and just barely overclock this to 60 divided by 45. Yeah, 1 at 0.33. Or let's see, what did I figure? 45 times 2.5 is 112. 112. Yeah. 60 each. Yeah, so I wasn't quite able to do that. What did I say? Times, let's see, 30 5 of them. I think that's what it is. Something like that. 5 times 2.5. Maybe it's just 3. Yeah. I have 30, 60 times 9 divided by 90. Yeah, 6. Excuse me, not 5. Okay. So I'd be able to, I guess that's obvious, I'd be able to take just 6 of these things and overclocked all the way almost to you know, a pretty high number, actually just by 200%, there we go. And I'd be able to capture all of that CO2, add some limestone, and then I can very conveniently get that limestone from right here, which as a pure node should be more than enough. So it said 12 limestone at 45, so 24 at double, and this being a pure, 24 times 6 is well under what I can get, even at 100%, if I remember the numbers correctly. So I can convert it right there, and then here's the beauty of it. This be a beauty. I can take this. Ooh, don't get smacked. I can take the iron ore. There's like 3 pure nodes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 pure nodes. And I can make so much steel. Let's see here. Morflex said, hurricanes can suck, but there is something about the chaos of it all that is attractive. The disruption of normal. Indeed. I welcome. But the thing that sucks for me is the lack of electricity in that time. Yes, and that's a problem where you can have an easy environment for mold to fester and grow. Not just, you know, it being uncomfortable, but the mold is a problem. Hey, and somebody on Discord? Doesn't look like it's my channel. Might just be somebody direct messaging. Or somebody messaging another server that I actually have unmuted. Yes, so this is the big ta-da. This is an oil extractor. I will submit to you that oil can in fact create steel. With the mod. With the mod. Big caveat. Big caveat. Not using coal. But so the waste product, in fact, from the oil extractors being made into fuel, the oil extractors, valuable commodities, being made into fuel, and then being burned, can be recaptured and turned into steel. Thought that was really, really freaking cool. So this will be the, I don't know what area I'm going to call it. Mara and Selbina are the 2 coastal cities from Final Fantasy XI. One of the near and dear games to my heart that I played when I was just married with my wife. We played together, in fact. That's where the name Boswin comes from. But yes, I'm going to extract all that glorious oil, convert it into stupendous power, and then convert its waste products into magnanimous steel. That would be really cool. I'm really looking forward to that part of the project. But let's see here. So enough about that power stuff. Let's head over real quick in this what am I calling this? The possibility save. So let's use the Fix-It Cam teleportation system, where I take a ton. Oh my gosh, so many folders worth of files for time-lapse. There's the word. So let's see here. /fic time-lapse. Copy that. I'll use that often. Teleport to oil 3. Yes. So I was showing the folks on the stream, I think last week, the micro reactor, another part that feels very cheaty. It's cool. It creates 5 gigawatts of power for every uranium fuel, for every advanced reactor core, which is made from uranium fuel somehow. I forget exactly the recipe. It's right let's see here. It's right behind me there. But it has no waste, so I'm like, I don't think I want to use it. And then there's this guy, the arc reactor. Let's see here. I'm sorry, this creates 1 gigawatt of power. This guy creates 5, and it feels a little less cheaty because it's it doesn't create any waste, but it takes a lot So you have sulfuric acid. You have this element 65 stuff that you have to refine. Then you have to mix it with uranium to make unfiltered deuterium. Then you have to blend that with water to filter the deuterium. Then you have to take quartz and modular frames to make the reactor casing, and put all that together in a packager to make the advanced reactor core. And that's just the fuel. The coolant is really cool. It's limestone plus, you can see it's all gone. This is all just research. It's limestone plus coal plus bauxite. So an aluminum, coal, carbon, that's the word I'm looking for. Carbon, limey, something conglomeration made into a powder and then just mixed with water, and it becomes cloudy, and then you refine it and make it not cloudy. It's reactor coolant. And that gives you, for one little dude like this, that gives you 5 gigawatts. But guess what I get with, I think, a little less effort and definitely a smaller footprint. This is one of the reasons why I went back to my old save. The nuclear power, the traditional vanilla nuclear power plant, right? Nuclear. That guy. But of course, that makes uranium waste. But it feels more accurate, right? Nuclear power will generate waste. That's just a thing, right? If you're taking uranium and you're not making it a traditional fuel rod, but you're doing something with it to make this deuterium, I kind of feel like there should still be some kind of waste. They chose not to do that. That's fine. A lot of really cool stuff in this refined power mod. It's actually really, really fun to play. This is the thing I said I'm absolutely not going to use anytime soon. It's a Dyson Sphere port, so not actually even the Dyson Sphere itself. If you've never heard of such a thing and you never played the game, it's basically a massive. Nemo could say more about it. He actually played the game, but in real life, it's basically a massive energy collecting shield kind of a thing around a star that absorbs right at the source, as much as they can, depending on the technology level. And I don't think we can actually do this. It's all theoretical right now. Of a star's solar energy, just like a photovoltaic cell, right, or solar power, converts it to electricity, and then beams it down in this massive, let's see here, where's a what is this thing called? A foundation. So that's an 8x8 foundation, right? Let's see here. Let's go up. Hold. Let's go like this for just a second. I'll show you guys sort of the scale of this thing. Okay, that's really close. That's not spot on. That's really close. So from there, hold. That's not as close as I'd like to be. That's a little closer. We'll go with that. All right. So it is. That is how much? 4, 5. That's pretty close. I think it's 5x5. It should be circular. If I wasn't a little ways off, I think that should be right, because again, it should be circular, not oblong. Okay, so 5x5 foundations wide, right? 5x5. So that's by 8. I don't think I've done that math right. There we go. 5 by 8. I don't think I'm doing that right. So it's 8 times 5 is 40 by 40. There we go. That looks better. So it's 1,600 meters wide. That's really far. 1,600 meters or 1.6 kilometers. Maybe I'm not doing that math right. 40 by... Oh, square. Right. Not long. 1,600 square meters. If it were linear, that would be, I think, a mile. Because let's see here. 100 kilometers is 0.6 miles. And I think it's 1.6 kilometers to a mile. I forget the math on that. But suffice to say, it's one big-ass circle. Huge. right? And most of it is filled with a beam, pretty much with no space in between there, of power that comes down, and it's a lot. It's 1 terawatt if you succeed in building, stage 4 of the Dyson sphere. It'll generate 1 terawatt of power, but what you have to do is every 10 minutes you have to give this thing 32,000 items, and good lord, that takes so much mental energy. As I was testing the thing, trying to fill up these stupid storage containers just to see, okay, what is this actually going to take? How does this thing work? You have to fill up for, well, let's see here, 32,886. 886 times 4. You have to give it 131,000 items just to build the thing up in space. And then you have to keep doing it because I think this is kind of the lore behind this particular thing. Being that all of these Earth-based materials, or massage 2BB, whatever, right? Terra-based materials are getting that close to a star, they are disintegrating at an alarming rate. And so you constantly have to make repairs to the tune of every 10 minutes, right? Which means you need another 32,000 materials delivered to this thing every 10 minutes. Even with, 780 for Mark 5s? Let's see here. Q, that's what I'm looking for. Mark 5. There we go. 780. Even with 780 resources per minute going to this thing. And let's see, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on each side. So 24. I guess that's actually not that bad. I don't think I did that math before. But let's just assume that you can create enough satellite factories all across the map to make all of this stuff. You need iron plates, screws, rods, concrete, steel beams, supercomputers, aluminum, turbo motors, steel pipes, limiters, oscillators, right, you name it. And then a few things from this mod specifically, to the tune of reactor cores, carbon mesh, reinforced carbon-carbon, and then more stuff you're used to, rips, modular frames, and plastic. It's going to take you almost 2 minutes just to deliver all that stuff if it's always coming here all the time, right? So more than enough time to spare on your 10-minute countdown. But if you don't do it, the Dyson sphere breaks, and every 10 minutes you lose 100 gigawatts of power, to the point where it's totally destroyed and you have to rebuild it. It's crazy, and I just don't feel like I'm ever going to get to a point to where I can sacrifice that much stuff in the name of power for a threshold I will never need. So it's cool, but ultimately it's going to be destroyed. Not used. This is just my save for the, let's see, do I still have the name in here? For the Mara Power Research Station. So, a lot of fun. Once I actually unlock bauxite and tier 7, more specifically, I can get back to using turbo fuel again. Go with the same, actually, Nemo, the same diluted fuel recipe you're looking for. I believe I do have the one that can make packaged diluted fuel, but I don't want that. I want to take oil and convert it to, let's see here, to heavy oil residue, and then convert that to packaged diluted fuel with water, and then convert that, and then connect that, I should say, with compacted coal to make my turbo fuel, and get sort of the most efficient oil per megawatt ratio. Cheers, my friends. I believe this is the last of this serving. And yes, let's see here. What was the next thing I wanted to do? Promotions. Oh yeah, I was telling the guys earlier in the stream, but since I think most of you missed it, let me just show you guys real quick. Something I figured out I can do as a, professional quote-unquote streamer. I can mark my account on Twitter as professional, and I can actually use the promotion tools, and it helped get some more folks seeing this message. Got a bunch of likes out of it, Got some retweets. Hopefully we'll help save some more kids' lives, man. That is why I'm doing this, after all. Did I get a message? Let's go to the phones. Or was that green light just because I'm fully charged? I believe it's just because I'm fully charged. It is indeed. And I'm going to have an alarm go off, apparently, in like 3 minutes to remind me to end the stream. In 23 minutes. So I'm gonna kill that. I am sufficiently reminded, and I'm gonna do the thing I said I was gonna do, and actually hard pour this. So I soft poured earlier. It made so much foam, but that's not how you're supposed to pour nitro. Figured I'd try it because I still got half a can. Do it right. Hard pour it is. Now one thing, not nearly, and maybe just because it's been open for a while. Not nearly as much head, and not nearly as much nitro bubbles. Also, no ball bearing in there. And so far, I definitely do not need more of this stuff. That dose of the Poggers energy drink I took earlier has been working quite well. All right, so let's see here. Jumping back in real quick. Let's see here. We talked about power. We talked about pumps. I want to talk more, and promotions and progress. Yes, that was the big thing. So when I progress to upgrade these guys, when or if, I guess, these solution heaters, which create 750 degrees of heat and produce 140 units of steam. Welcome to the channel. Welcome. Thank you guys for joining. Let's see here. It says green. Cool. I still have 2 more in there. Cool. I have that. Just kind of checking everything out. When or if I convert this those stuff up there to nuclear heating instead of solution heating, I will no longer need any of the oil, and so I'm kind of loath to do that because it's a great way to turn oil into steel. But if I were to do that, I would be able to use 1 plutonium rod every next to nothing minutes, 0.067. 1 divided by 0.067, or 1 almost every 15 minutes. Or if I have the regular uranium rods, it burns twice as fast, or the other way thinking, plutonium burns half as fast, right? So that's almost every 7.5 minutes. And so that every 7.5 minutes gives me exactly enough steam to get 1 single gigawatt of power. So that's cool. I like that, right? It could be a totally different, not instead, but in addition venue. But it's going to generate some waste. This plutonium waste is super radiation heavy, like Nemo was saying earlier. The uranium waste, on the other hand, not so much. So I probably would, just like I did before, convert the uranium waste to plutonium fuel rods and then sink that rather than use them. I've now tested both here. But again, 1 uranium fuel rod every 7.5 minutes, and it creates a gigawatt versus, let's see here, 1 uranium fuel rod every 2.5 minutes. Let's see here. I remember the number from somewhere. 0.4, that's what it was. Yeah, every 2.5 minutes. And that creates 5 gigawatts. So, equivalent fuel rods in vanilla. Let's see, how can we figure this out? So that's every 2.5 minutes. I get 5 gigawatts of power. That means, let's see here, 5,000. Let's do it like that. No, that's still not right. I'm trying to think here. No, I guess that is right. That means every minute I'm getting 2,000. Yeah. Every minute I'm getting 2,000. Okay, so every minute I get 2,000. But if I use 1,000 divided by 7.5, every minute I'm only getting 133 megawatts of power instead of 2 gigawatts, right? So there's that. Now it burns at a rate of 0.4 per minute, whereas this burns at a rate, I think I do this backwards, 0.067, I think that'll work. 0.067 times 2 is that point, yep, okay. So it burns at a rate of 0.134 per minute. So it burns a single rod a lot slower, but you also get a lot less out of it. So the most I can get from a single fuel rod per minute in this setup is about 133 megawatts per minute of fuel rod use. Let's call it that way. I guess maybe that's not a fair comparison. Whereas the other way can give me more. It creates more waste, but it's giving me more hugo. So I think I like this, but I think I also like the vanilla nuclear better. So I don't think we're going to use nuclear here. That's really what I wanted to figure out. Yeah, there's no need for a carbon capture device like that, because it's nuclear waste as the byproduct instead. We just have to capture the steam. So yeah, so it's neat, but that's going to be a no-go for us. So we'll proceed with our plan. That's going to be our progress once update 6 happens. Which, by the way, we might do an extra Satisfactory stream on Saturday because early June is only going to be early so much longer, right? So that's probably early June. That's probably early June. That's literally mid-June. The 15th is half of 30, which is the middle. So I would be super surprised if we didn't get update 6 experimental by, no later than the 17th? 15th, maybe, probably. So I haven't seen anything, and I looked. I haven't seen anything saying when we're actually going to get it. What I do know is that we don't have it yet. And I'd really like to. Cheers again, mates. Stay. My bread. The apple cinnamon snacking rounds again. Cheers, or let's see here. Bon appetit, my friends, as we shall literally break bread together. Quite good. Definitely staving the hangries. Staving off. Yes, the simple train system I built, I should say. I think I've done more work on this. Let's see here, because I think I have stuff above this in my main save. But as it is right now, so much plastic and so much rubber being unused. All right, so let's log out right here. You know what we can do? Hang on. Let's put a sign here real quick. Let's do signage. Where are we? There it is. Let's put that guy right there. And just do the no symbol. Can we do that? Monochrome. That. Don't use refined power, nuclear. Not worth it. Sad face. Cool. That was where I was figuring out on that initial set of pumps how I can take 5 lines and use it to flow water into 9 lines. And it's way easier just to try it out. And so I did. Alright. We will go like that and call that good. So, save the game again on the possibilities. Save, confirm. Now, autosaves are on that possibilities. It's actually overriding my sidelines ones. That's okay. So we got 170, 185, 184. Right, so we're going to open up the sidelines. Not with a save. Holy God. Holy cow. Oh my gosh. They tried to come at the same time. Go to the sidelines. Load. It looked like somebody left and came back in, but that's probably my internet misbehaving. Welcome back. Speaking of a few improvements to the Mara Plastubber plant. There you go, proper flying. None of this cheater nonsense. Yes, that's right. So, come here, you. I had a little bit of my heavy oil residue get backed up. I am combining the heavy oil residue. Let's see here. Not there. Hang on. Combining the heavy oil residue waste from making rubber and plastic on the basic vanilla recipe and bringing it all the way up here to go into my refinery where it can be made into fuel. The fuel was, for a really long time, being combined with canisters to make packaged fuel. I have an entire pack of that stuff, don't need it anymore. So what we're instead doing now is, I suppose I could even do this so it's clear, but it's not getting packages. Here, let's do that. We're now taking that fuel, we are bringing it around, bringing it back in, and it is combining with rubber to do recycled plastic, because we didn't have nearly enough of those being generated, because, let's go look at the numbers. Not on the ladder. There you go, my guy. We have 2 rubber, or let's see here, 50 per minute. 50 per minute, right? So about even Steven, except for the longest time. We had that plastic going into a constructor and we made into canisters. So we had quite a deficit. Figured we'd fix that. Plus the, let's see here, rubber with fuel to plastic recipe actually gives you more plastic than just making plastic. Because I'll get 100 per minute. So I can take the 50 I make downstairs, if all I need is plastic, I can take the 50 I make downstairs, I can combine it with fuel and get 100. I forget exactly how you do this back and forth, but there is a definite way to get more rubber and more plastic out of the deal. What it results in is that sometimes you have a backup, and so if your heavy oil residue isn't being used enough, you can, oh look, here's one of the times. You can use that extra residue and make Coke, which you, a lot of the times, oh, it's because I'm capped everywhere, I'm totally full. I'll show you guys. So, that's probably, no, that's not full. Let's see, is the rubber one full? Where is it? Right next to it, there we go. So the rubber is getting that way. It's not quite full yet. I've actually just started seeing that recently-ish. Oh, but that guy down there, you just heard the train go by, I thought. I swear I did. But let's see here. Capped on rubber, capped on plastic. We will not need any of that for a while. Because again, we're not using enough of it. So it's just, it's taking that extra residue, converting it into Coke, and then burning it, so things continue to run smoothly. Eventually, we're going to make good use of all of this stuff. This is just a starting point, because we needed one. I have for some reason. We needed some plastic, and I think some rubber, to help us get the parts made for phase 3. That way, we could should be able to keep flying because of power on the rails. Hey, and there's my train. Loco 1. But we needed some Hugo, so that we could get phase 3 completed, so that we can get to bauxite and the other, let's see here, phase 7 milestones, so that we can get blenders, which let us do the diluted fuel. Welcome back to the channel. So you see now why I tend to use this. I have not nearly enough interesting things along this route, and so I usually just go through it quickly. My plastic and my rubber here are also full up because I'm not actively using them. I used a ton of it here when I was making the phase 3 parts, some of which I still have there and have yet to recapture and reutilize for later. Alright, so we are getting towards that 12:30 mark that I said I was going to try to end at. Let's head down here and do some proper flying. I am in a place with plenty of power, and I'm not in any rush. Let's see if I got it. Nemo, do I have hard drives on me? I do not. Hang on. I think I have a few. I can at least get it started. Not there. There. I have 3 more. I'll get one of them started. There we go. Yes, so this. So again, we have 1/8 of that 40 gigawatt turbo fuel power station started. We have built, let's see, not just 1/4, but closer to half. Not quite everything we need, because I gotta do a lot of work on it, but closer to like half of the water requirements we'll need to get all of that fuel station taken care of. I still need to rebuild the main base so much. There's so much I want to do with this part to make it look better. Before I actually functionally rebuild it, I might follow some of that advice. Come on, I know you can fly. You can do it. I believe in you. I might actually construct sort of the castle walls is going to be my theme on this one, and redo that part first, and then come back and build the functional part afterwards. Maybe I'll keep the garage down there. But yes, I do need to do that. I built the phase 3 machine, so that actually I have done. Copy, paste. Deliver the phase 3 parts via conveyor to space. We did that on, I believe, the last stream. Seriously, need to do that. Like I said, complete the milestone, pipeline engineering. Right, all of those guys were completed. Haven't come up with another new thing. Although we have some of the idea. Maybe we put here prep, or maybe just prep and move turbo fuel power to new location after update 6. We've done a lot of things so far. That was, I believe, phase 1 parts. We no longer need biomass generator fuel. We did all those things. We unlocked the modular power generation. We found coal. We built the vanilla. We upgraded to the refined. We still need to design and build more of the basement floors. Kind of redoing it all, right? Let's see here, rebuilding all the machines with the basic parts. That's seriously rebuild. I still have to do that off-site storage area. I got a bunch of really cool storage scattered all over with a smattering of different things that are just kind of in the way here. I'm gonna maybe build something like right there. Call that Castle Town. That's kind of be my theme. I have some great ideas for kind of what exactly I want to do. For my third playthrough, I think I mentioned it on the last stream. But basically, I'm in South Korea, and there is so much really cool architecture, both old and new here. And so I'm going to probably start in like the northern forest. I haven't started there yet, and put my space elevator in the middle of what will be my Seoul, S-E-O-U-L, analog to the actual city here. Make that like Seoul Tower or Lotte Tower, the tallest building in South Korea, and kind of design the stuff around it look like that, and then have like the ancient palace kind of designs on some of the things, and the particular ways they style their freeways and their train supports and things like that, and all kinds of cool stuff. I took about a bajillion pictures, give or take a few 100,000 on here. I've had to move them off of my main storage to my SD card at least a dozen times, and I'm probably going to fill that up. I've taken so many pictures. I really, seriously, I need to get a GoPro and just always wear it all the time, because I'm always seeing cool stuff that's an inspiration all over town. Welcome back to the channel. Or for the first time. Actually, I don't think you were here earlier today. So yeah, that's going to be... I know I have more notes than that. That's going to be kind of the plan for playthrough 3. Let's see here. Where are you, my guy? Hang on. There it is. Satisfactory notebook. Yeah, so South Korean architecture, open air covered markets. Oh yes. So there's these covered souks, or bazaars, as you would call them in other countries, or basically open air markets through corridors of stone in some countries, and here mostly metal, corrugated metal, and it looks really cool. And I was going to try and simulate some of that kind of design for some of the stuff in my third playthrough. And like I said, some of the older style architecture for some of the really nice places, or some of the fancier stuff or something, right? All kinds of cool stuff. And I even thought I would showcase parts of the world in various stages of design, as if you're actually building the stuff with, open walls and cranes and struts and platforms that won't be there at the end, that are there as if somebody's really constructing this in between turning in parts for the different phases. I thought that would make for a really cool idea. And let's see if that works. Ha! It does. Stream marker set. That'll help remind me to do just that. Yeah, okay, there's my notes. Just all about those arc reactors and things that I think we don't want to use. Yeah, I still haven't unlocked gas masks. I have the jetpack. And I have plenty of fuel for it now. So I can actually grab it back out of storage. Yeah, so we got a good game plan. We're definitely going to do some neat, cool stuff. Is that thing done yet? Almost. I'm just past 12:30. I do not mind staying just so we can have the reveal of what silly thing I got off of here. I still need to unlock a bunch of stuff too, Nemo. I know you're trying to get some of your stuff unlocked, so you can do some of the things you wanted. There's so much to explore in this game. Maybe just one more thing to show you guys. If you hadn't seen it yet, the automated biomass generators are kind of interesting. You can throw anything you want in there, including flowers or the solid biomass, and they're just belt driven. They still only burn if they are needed. You can see there's only one in there right now. Only 4, 10, 5, 3. But they have plenty right here. I made this cool little thing where I chuck everything in there, and it sorts it all for me with smart splitters. Then it converts it to biomass, converts that to solid biomass, and then throws it over there. Or if there is no more need for it, conveyor splitter, it'll throw it over here, and I have so much of that for my chainsaw, more than I will ever need. Let's see what I make most recently. I made computers and circuit boards, and those should be, that's an interesting little thing flying around. Those should be totally full as well. Yep, they are. In fact, we got lots of circuit boards, lots of computers. Again, all this stuff, and no off-site storage. That's weird what it's doing with the pixels there. With both of them. And a brilliant sunrise. A little bit of spaghetti going on. This last part where I'm trying to get everything done for phase 3 didn't quite come out as clean as I wanted. It's working for now, but this is part of the reason why I want to redo everything. That is the ramp pump template. Thank you again, Nemo, for that. He showed me how to do that. Took that and ran with it. That was fun. Oh yes, the way, this is one last thing good to show you guys. The way you can take carbon from coal or from oil, right, and turn it into steel is carbon dust in a foundry plus iron ingots makes your steel ingots. It's not as efficient as taking coal and iron, but it's another option. I think I have that. I maybe could have said that a little bit better. You can get more steel per coal unit if you convert it to carbon dust and use that with iron ingots, but you can't get as many steel ingots out of an individual foundry with this recipe compared to, so that's 75 per minute at 250 compared to the traditional recipe here, which we'll double check the cost and stuff of, like so. There. 45 per minute, which is going to be at least 90, which is greater than 75. 45 times 2.5, 112.5. Apologies, the audio is out of sync. You're about to hear, maybe you already did, the removal of the stuff I just deleted. 1, 2, 3. I don't know. It was unsynced earlier today. So 112.5 versus 75, right? So 112.5 minus 75, not divided by, sorry. Although that also answers the question. It's about 50% better. So that is now very, very close to wrapping up. Why did I not see a map message yet? I should have seen it by now. Maybe I missed it. Ha! I did miss it. Okay. So what did I get? I got pure iron ingots, which if you mix with water, let's see here, 30 per minute or 65 per minute. So 1 makes 1, or 7 makes 13. You just got to add water. So that could potentially be better. Turbo heavy fuel, I believe, is not better. Right now, my only ways to make it are with fuel and coal. If I use heavy oil and compacted coal, well, I get 30 per minute, and I don't have to make it into fuel at all. But I wonder if I would get the same amount of turbo fuel out of the deal. So I'm converting TV. Let's see here. I am converting 6. I'm converting, where's the thing in there? I thought I had, oh, I don't have it yet. That's right, I'm having to make plastic. And remember, I don't have the actual heavy oil residue direct recipe. No, I do. Yeah, it just still makes the resin. Yeah. Okay. But I think we don't need to go back that far back, so I'm converting 60 heavy oil residue per minute to 40 fuel. And then I'm converting 22 and a half into turbo fuel. There's a way to figure out this easily. Let's see, 60 heavy becomes 40. 40 divided by 22.5 times 18.75. Okay. So 40 fuel becomes 33 turbo fuel. So 60 heavy oil becomes 33 turbo. So almost 2 to 1. 60 heavy to 30 turbo. Almost. If I do this instead, Hebe. If I do this instead, it doesn't quite show all the recipes. I would only have to take 5, and I'm going to get 4 out of it. Maybe I just look at it that way. 5 to 4, 6 to 4 to 5. Six to 9, almost. Versus 5. I don't think this is as good. I get less turbo heavy fuel at the end. You know, we can answer this really easily. Alright, so we're gonna get that. There's the sound. Here we go, my friends. What's the other one? The turbo heavy fuel? Yes, I don't like ads covering the place where I am actively looking. Thank you. Let's see here. So 37.5 per minute becomes 30 a minute. Or 60. That's the number I found out earlier. So 60 heavy a minute becomes 33 turbo fuel a minute, or 37 a minute becomes 30, versus 60 becoming just over 30. So that actually is better. Okay, if I'm reading that correct. Okay, and I can skip a step because I don't have to convert to fuel and then convert to turbo. I can just go straight from heavy to turbo. That might be really cool. We're going to check that one out a little later. For now, we're not going to worry about it. For now, we are squeaking past that that time when we said we were going to stop, and I believe I have put all of you to sleep. I haven't heard from you guys in a while, so either I've gotten boring or you've gotten tired. It is 11:43 a.m. at earliest back there in the good old Louisoix, and I believe we're going to wrap it up. No problem, Morflex. Welcome back. That's true. That's true. It is not everybody, not even me, has the day off because it's a Wednesday, my dudes, right? For everybody else, it is a Wednesday. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Glad to be here. It's fun. I want to do some more stuff. Where'd my mouse go? I want to do some more stuff with those ram pumps and see if we can make those things go higher, and then properly, let's see here, TP to the ram pump test 3. Ram pump test 2. I swear I had one of those. List. Who even knows? This way. What did I name this anything? I thought I named it Ram Pump Test. Ram Pump Test 1. Weird, it's like it's not there anymore. TP Ram Pump Test 1. I don't know. Got deleted or something weird. Oh, that's right, because I built it all in the possibilities. I thought I built it on my main one. That's okay. It's really easy to figure that out. Now I know exactly what I want to do, so I can just remake it and make it look nice. So that is what I'll do. Definitely. So, Cecily Fly 0. Save game for Kurthess Online. Then, as I said, I do have to go. I have work in just shy of 7 hours. So I will get more than enough sleep. I will probably drink some more of this energy drink when I wake up. And for now, I'm going to say farewell. And I will see you guys back same Boz time, same Boz channel at on Saturdays at 10:30 a.m. and Wednesday evenings at 10:30 p.m. Korea Standard Time, which is GMT +9 for any of you that are not where I am. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Let's see real quick. I haven't had the opportunity to do this in a while. Who we can raid? Stand by, and let's find somebody. Twitch TV. See who else is playing Satisfactory right now. That's a great option to do. Let's see. Hey, old Canucks on. I haven't seen him in a while. Let's do that. I'm actually in the list. Not at the bottom. I like seeing that. Yeah, let's do that. All right, my friends. As I said, it is a pleasure hanging out with you guys. We are going to head over there. Do show him some love and check out his stream if you haven't seen it before. This guy's pretty awesome. He builds some real neat stuff. And we will see you guys later. Bye now.